Hello everyone, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making paper crafting tutorial. This is the card I have to share with you. It's a really simple card. It's a beautiful image, but this is all pattern paper, and this is the beautiful gallery designer series paper from Stampin Up, and I'm going to show you today how to use it to make a really quick and easy and simple card just like this one. So all I've done here is matted it on some basic black and some basic beige, and then added a sentiment, and we're done. Really simple, but I think a really stunning and beautiful card, and it very much reminds me of the Chelsea Embankment at home in London, where I used to always go walking quite often, and my father would take me for we would go in the car along there to his office as well, so it reminded me of that, so I really liked that card. So let's make another one together. This is the pattern I picked out for our next card. It's this gorgeous floral pattern, and very much reminds me of something a botanical artist would do, and a friend of my aunt is a botanical artist, so it reminded me of her when I picked this pattern. So our card base again is going to be basic beige again. So this is a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And then I'm not going to use black as I did before. I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow, because that's the colour I felt matched best with the green in my image here. So I'm going to cut this down. No, actually I'm not. I'm first going to cut down my designer series paper. So let's bring in our trimmer here, and let's decide if we want this to be, let's have a look, do you want this to be portrait, or do you want this to be, I think I'm going to have this in landscape mode, and I want to get rid of that writing along the bottom because I don't want that. So I think I'm going to cut it there, and I'm just going to cut the paper down until I'm happy with what I've got. So I want it to be 10 centimeters. So I'm going to cut some more of the base, because I don't need all that greenery there. Not too much of it anyway. So I'm going to cut that, and then I want to cut it down to at least 10 centimeters, well, 9.5 centimeters at least. So let's cut. Do I want to cut there, or let's see, 9.5. Oh, well, that'll take me roughly around there. I think that looks okay. And then I'm going to cut off a little bit along here, I think. So I want it to be 13.85. Then it's going to be an even mat, which is roughly like that. So that's going to be my piece here. Really simple, really easy little piece. I don't know if I really want to cut this at the top as well, maybe. I think so, yeah, I like that. Okay, so get rid of the trimmer for now. Save these pieces, don't chuck them away, because you can see on the back you've got another pattern. These are strips, and I save all of my strips, and I use these as scraps to make other cards, so don't waste those. I'm going to mat this now on a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. So let's bring this back in again and see how wide our piece is again. Our piece now measures just under 9 centimeters, 8.9. So if my piece here measures 8.9 centimeters, I want to add on half a centimeter to that. So that's going to be 9.4. So I'm going to do it 9.4, and this will ensure we have an even mat all the way around by 14.35. And this should mean we have an even mat all the way around. As you can see there, just a very slim mat. Right, let's stick one to the other. so. You're going to see it's just going to go on just like that. There we go. So let's stick one to the other, as I said. Just use some Tombow for this. Tombow is really gumped up. Oh dear. You should really wipe it off every time you use it. But do as I say, not as I do. So I'm just going to give it a little clean up now. And as you can see, it just comes off, but it is gunked up. Who else finds their glue gunks up like this? And the best way, as I said, is to clean it as you go along, but yeah. None of us are perfect. And I have to say, like everybody, when you finish a crafting session, tidying up is the furthest thing from your mind. That's why I do try and tidy up as I go along as much as possible, because certainly when you finish crafting, the last thing you want to do is to tidy up. But it doesn't always happen, but you try. You can always try. Okay. So now this is going to go on the front of our card. So you could pop this up using some foam adhesive sheet if you wanted to. I'm just going to do it flat. And I use basic beige, which is not a colour I would ever really use. It's not my style, but it matches the colour in the pattern papers so well. So there you go. There's the basis of our card. And that will just look perfect as it is. But let's add a little sentiment. So let's see, what should we have here? Let's see. I can stamp something very simple in the corner here. I can. You know what? That's going to go right there. I think that's going to be fine, just like that. So I'm going to get a block. I'm going to line this up on my grid paper. Now, I'm sorry if everything looks a bit skew on the camera. I don't know, somehow I've managed to knock my camera. I don't know how I did it. Don't ask me. And everything seems to be a bit skew. And I did try before I filmed to try and straighten it up, but it didn't want to play ball today, and I really don't have the time to struggle with it. I really wanted to get these filmed for you, so I do apologise if everything looks a little cattywampus. So there we've got Miss You. So this time I am going to clean up, just give it a little clean with my simple chamois. I love that thing. And I should have said, this is the Simply Said stamp set. And I like these very thin sentiments, which is what we've used here. And I'm going to put this Miss You, and I think we're going to use some rhinestones. So let's see where I can find some rhinestones. I know I've got some somewhere. Ah, here they are. Rhinestones. Right. Let's just pop a few of these around here. I think this will just give it a little bit of a bling, which I think it could do with. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. Okay. So there you've got one that's more like a botanical artist, and one more as a sketched painting. Very simple, easy cards. You can do them in no time at all. You can see here we've done it in less than 10 minutes, and you've got a beautiful card to give someone. So I hope you've enjoyed this card making paper crafting tutorial. If you have, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's much appreciated. If you want any more information about the projects, the supplies, the measurements, etc., it'll all be on the blog post, and you can find the link to that in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.